Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in mired in a brutal stretch right now, losers of 8 straight games.
Can you imagine going 2 straight months without winning a game and still trying to hold it together? They've got to find some inspiration somewhere that can lead them to a victory.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Wentz now on 1st down. And incomplete to open things up. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. But a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The numbers for Jeffrey from last week, 5 catches, 60 yards.
And that put him over 1,000 yards for the season. And the benchmark for running backs, 1,000 yards. The same for receivers. When you have that kind of a year, you've had a monster one.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants him to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Aguilar has it. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
40.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Ajayi. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Here's Ajayi. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Back to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
4 down, 4 down. Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's got Rodgers. 50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
White 90.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. White 90. White 90. Flex round. Flex round. Yes. You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Flex round. Flex round. All day, dog.
Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devon Kennard. He's the one to get it, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator,
Wentz now on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
This is Ajayi. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Let's go. White, 90. White, 90.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Getting set for the next drive, the tight end, Zach Ertz. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Once again here on 2nd and 10. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They run with Ajayi. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Here we go. White, 90. White, 90.
Riddick with a carry. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Throwing on first is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now. And this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Right, and I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go!
Here's Riddick. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They go back to Riddick. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Let's go! White, 90! White, 90!
And they'll run it here. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They're going to look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Let's go!
Now a play fake here on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
We got three. Let's go. One.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Yeah, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Eagles on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Waiting. Let's go.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On play action, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss a one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Looking around the league from Raymond James Stadium, they're in the 3rd quarter in Tampa. And it's the Bucs who are leading that one. Jameis Winston, a couple of touchdown passes thus far. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns. Now it's a 21-point game. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Let's go! White, 90! White, 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Come on, let's go! Red 38!
They'll drop the throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go. White, 90.
They'll set up a throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Let's go. White, 90. White, 90.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go. Grand 38.
He'll look to throw. Pushing his way through. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
White, 90. White, 90.
Now Riddick. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slot way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost exactly.
And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run with Clement. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run again with Clement. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On the carry, here's Clement. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz to throw. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A run, it's Clement. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. In on the tackle, Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it done.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Eagles, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Lions, this will mark an unlucky loss number 13 for them. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. So for our entire crew, alongside